I found a key, but I don't know what it's for. Oh, I've not done everything there is to do at the factory site. There's the house with and the garden, isn't there? So we shall head off there. Right, we can't go around there. So we'll just head to the maze. Although I don't know anything about the maze, which is the problem. There doesn't seem to be... Oh, there probably is some kind of logical system to it, but I've not been in it, so I don't really know. I need to run across. And back in here. In here. And then I think it's one to the right. Yes. Because it's factory, cranes, station, maze, and house. I can't go in because... Oh, it's locked, eh? Maybe I can open it now? The problem with having a key is I don't...
The door's locked, but I've still got to get in there.
Okay. It's locked, but I don't know what... I've got a key, but I don't know what lock it unlocks. I must endeavour to try it on everything. I don't know why they have these weird screens. Maybe they just want to make it seem like it's a fully... kind of a full thing, so they don't want to skip over things. No, that doesn't go there. I needed something else up there. Okay. Into the maze. I think it's our only real option that's left to us, isn't it? I mean, there's several systematic approaches you can take. I mean, left and right are the key ones, of course. Actually, let's see what's here by the pond. Or this little... Okay, there is actually nothing there. Okay. So then... Well, we'll go... I think that one's locked. That one's a locked place. So we'll go down the right. Ah! I suspect that's what we need for the ladder. Key for this. I don't know. I have a key. Maybe it opens things.
No point. It's locked.
I don't know what unlocks it. Right. Yes, I have a random key, but I don't know what it does. So we'll just get to the mechanical ladder, watch it. Maybe the key opens a window. Or are they open? Oh, they're open up there. Ah, how nice. Oh! So if it's a sparkly one, it doesn't work? Is that what it is? Ah, very good. That does not look like it's right. Which means it's going to bend. Or we're going to have to jump. But, okay, or not. Glad I didn't show that, I'd be terrified. So we'll decide which way to go. Anna. The 14th of May 1930. Yesterday something terrible happened. I do not know who to turn to or who to talk to, so I've decided to write it down. You, dear diary, are now my confidant and sole guardian of my secret thoughts. Hans lies in the next room, teetering between life and death, and I am terrified. Oh, the injustice of life. First Mama, then Hans. Please, dear Lord, don't take my little brother away as well. The 15th of May, 1930. Hans made me promise to keep this a secret, but its burden is too heavy. I know I can tell you, though, dear diary. We discovered a cave in the mountains, a marvellous cavern with ancient paintings on the walls. Only prehistoric man could have painted them, because there were depictions of mammoths, which are prehistoric creatures as well. That much I know. I hate mammoths now. It's all because of them and because of that stupid prehistoric children's toy. Why, Hans? Oh, why did you try and take it? And why did I let you climb up there? It's my fault you're in a coma now. Hans, if you die, I do not know how I could ever live. Forgive myself. 16th of May. Hans has still not regained consciousness. Father cannot sleep, and Gertrude cries all day long. Outside the heat is suffocating, but inside the house it's icy cold and dismal. I still have hope, though. I know my brother. I know his strength. He will pull through. He never gives in. 17th of May. I cannot think of anything else but Hans. In all my waking and sleeping dreams I see his fall over and over. I see his head hitting the rock and his oh-so-pale face softening. I have taken refuge in the attic. It is the only place where I find any peace, wrapped up in all my memories. 18th of May. 5 days have passed since the accident, and Hans has still not opened his eyes. To see him like this is unbearable. Please, God, protect him. Take my life, not his. 19th of May, 1930. I feel so desperate, so alone. I want to snuggle up in Father's arms, but I dare not. He is so impassive. Oh, Hans, don't leave me here. 20th of May. It has happened. Hans has come back to life. He opened his eyes and uttered my name. My name! Do you realize? This is the happiest day of my life. I want to take to the streets and sing, to proclaim my joy to the world. Thank you. Oh, thank you, God. 22nd of May. How wonderful, how beautiful life is. Gertrude and I cannot stop breaking into uncontrollable fits of giggles. Hans even wolfed down his meal today. I knew he was tough, my little brother. Even Father smiled at me today when he said good morning. 25th of May. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I'm totally absorbed in Hans's recovery. I've scarcely 5 minutes to myself to return to my refuge and scribble down these words. 29th of May. It is very curious. Whether Hans is hungry, thirsty, or if he wants something, he cannot stop saying my name. He can't bear it when I leave him even for an instant. Gertrude thinks that I should move my bed into his room to help him sleep better. I hope that Father will agree. 2nd of June. Today was the first day that Hans has left the house. We went for a short walk in the garden, but Hans is still very weak. The doctor said we should be patient and shouldn't rush him. It is so hard, though. I hope so much that life can return to how it once was. 20th of June. Hans has been out of his coma for a month now. He still doesn't say much and has difficulty moving. He sits motionless for long periods of time, his eyes wide open as though lost in thought. I have often had to call his name several times before he reacts. Then he will smile, and when he does, the moment is magic for me, and I couldn't possibly be happier. The 22nd of June. I had to talk to him. The burden was too great. I asked Hans about the accident in the cave to find out what he could remember. He could utter only one word. Mammoth! And his eyes glowed so strangely when he said it that he frightened me. 15th of September. I go back to school today, and for the first time in my life I am dreading it. I am afraid of leaving Hans alone. Despite Gertrude's kindness and attention, I have the impression that Hans is much less nervous when I am there. 20th of October. While I was doing my homework yesterday evening, Hans crept up on me so quietly that he made me jump. He took a pencil and a blank sheet of paper, and curiously, he started drawing. It is the first time since his accident he has done anything but daydream. 28th of October. Well, this is a lot of stuff, isn't it? Hans scribbles almost obsessively. It is all he will do, all day long. I feel it annoys Father. Nobody else understands, but I can see that Hans is trying to draw mammoths. 16th of November. Today is my birthday, and Gertrude has made me an apple pie. My favourite. But Father has not returned home for lunch, and Hans doesn't want to leave his room. The best present I could ever have is to see Hans back on the way to recovery. 25th of December. Snow is falling. All around. Children singing. Having fun. It is so beautiful. 10th of January 1931. The doctor visited to examine Hans. He seems happy that my little brother has fully recovered his faculties. It truly is a miracle. I don't understand why he doesn't talk more, though. Why isn't he livelier, like he was before? The 9th of February. It is Hans's birthday. Today he's 11 years old. I have the strangest of impressions that actually he has lost 5 years rather than gained 1 more. 24th of February. Oh my goodness, this goes on and on and on. The doctor has just left. I saw him whispering with Father. Their serious expressions worried me awfully. What could they be hiding from me? I am grown up now. At the age of 15, you can understand everything. I'm too scared to ask Father what is happening. 15th of March. I've been thinking, and it seems to me that Hans's attitude isn't normal. The shock of the fall and his coma must have had much more serious effects than we first imagined. Hans, my dear brother, what is happening to you? 4th of April. I discovered the truth. Hans is stunted, physically and mentally. I eavesdropped a conversation between the doctor, Father, and Gertrude. Gertrude buried her tear-filled hands in her apron, and Father muttered the word retard under his breath. How could he say such a thing? The 13th of April. It is Easter, and we're on school holidays. This means I can spend all day with Hans and protect him from Father's permanent dark moods. He cannot accept the fact that Hans, his only son, will stay in this state forever. 14th of April. It is truly difficult to accept, but it is not Hans's fault. Mine may be, but not Hans's. I don't know how to make Father understand. He seems so full of hatred for him. It is dreadful. I feel so powerless. 14th of May. 1 year. 1 year has gone by, and it feels like an eternity. The situation shows no signs of improvement, neither in terms of Hans's mental health or Father's attitude toward him. 30th of May. Extraordinary. Father has decided to take Hans to Paris for new tests. He says that only in the French capital will he find truly competent doctors. We must make Hans ready for the great expedition. 6th of June. No news from Father and Hans, but I remain hopeful. I am sure they will take good care of my little brother. 15th of July. They have returned. Hans rushed into my arms and started crying. It took me a long time to calm him down and get him to sleep. Father is still as taciturn as he was before he left. The French doctors have confirmed the diagnosis. Hans will remain physically and mentally impaired. I am stunned. The 28th of August. The summer is coming to a close. It has been less stifling than the last. The sun has put colour into Hans's cheeks. When I look... They're using a different apostrophe S styling. You've got to pick one. I'm not sure which one's. I can't remember which one's right, but pick one. Or maybe it's just because she's not entirely sure of the rules herself, as one day comes the next. When I look at him, I have difficulty imagining that he will not change. The 16th of November. Father still says nothing and increasingly shuts himself away in his office at the factory. Christmas. Gertrude tells me that love and faith triumph over any science. I like neither, God be praised. 12th of January. Father took Hans to the factory this morning. Hans was so afraid that I accompanied them. Fortunately, Father said nothing. I failed to understand why I insisted on bringing him there. The 13th of January. Father left for the factory with Hans once again this morning. I think he wanted to persuade Hans that he could be useful for something. It is his way of resisting fate. 17th of February. For a month now, every morning Hans has gone to work with Father at the factory. I'm not exactly sure what he does there, but he seems to enjoy it. I feel my brother's behaviour has changed considerably. He is much less capricious. 14th of April. I could cry. Hans has made me a present, a small robot mammoth with a trunk that rises and falls. When Father saw it, he nodded his head in satisfaction. So he's trying to convince him to go into the automaton business. The 20th of May. Both Gertrude and Father now have their own robot mammoths. Theirs are even more intricate and finely tuned. Little brother is not such a retard, after all. 15th of October. Hans's mammoths now walk, raise their trunks and wag their tails. It's incredible. 22nd of December. I met the head of the factory workshop, Mr. Grips, this morning. He says that for a young lad of 12, Hans is very gifted. It is a shame he only makes elephants. They're mammoths. Some people. The 11th of February, and now we're in 33. I don't know exactly where we are, but this may make things a bit tense. Well, I think 36 is when it started getting tense. Father and Hans were locked in a long discussion yesterday, or should I say, Hans was locked in one of Father's long monologues. As it is inconceivable that Hans should go to school like other children, Father wants to take him on as a worker at the factory. However, Hans will have have to stop making his own little devices. Hans's silence, his half-gaping mouth and staring eyes finally sent Father off in a rage. The 12th of February, I tried to broach the subject with Hans. I suggested he should obey Father. Learning a craft at the factory is his one chance to do something constructive with his life. He is so gifted and takes so much pleasure in making automatons. He did look like he wasn't listening to me, but I know he'll think about what I said. The 20th of February. It's not that Hans cannot speak, it's rather that he doesn't want to speak. He used the least possible words for communication, except with me, but he is still very economical with words. The 15th of May. Incredible. Hans was not just satisfied with learning how the assembly line works, instead he has completely redesigned it. Father and Monsieur Grips are taking a serious look at his plans. 10th of July. Father has wanted to talk to me about my future since I passed my exams. He wants to send me to university because he says my intelligence is astounding. My heart was beating so loud. It is true, I do love studying, but I couldn't bear to be away from Hans. The 2nd of September. What a ghastly summer. I know French, but I always see people who say ghastly. I can't think of anyone saying it ghastly. What a ghastly summer. What a ghastly summer. I have been permanently torn between my desire to go to university and my refusal to leave my brother. I talked about it with Hans, but he said nothing. That same evening, I found my own little mammoth broken. Aww. The 9th of October. Hans had another fit of hysterics at dinner again. Father announced that Hans's new assembly line would soon be finished. However, they have removed the automaton parrots that shout orders, as they were deemed superfluous. Hans was livid. He hurled his soup dish to the ground and stormed off to his bedroom. What will happen between the two of them when I'm not here? 17th of October. Despite my scruples, I'm finally leaving Hans. Hans has not talked to me for a week. Father would not understand if I told him why I wanted to stay. My heart is so heavy. Christmas. It is so strange to be home. I had never left home for such a long time before. Once we were alone, Hans did not stop talking. Words just leapt from his mouth. How we laughed at his excitement. He presented me with a delightful little ballerina. To replace the mammoth, he told me. I was so touched, I started crying. Distance has done nothing to harm the strong bond between us. The 10th of September, 1937. It is strange to pick up this diary once more. At first, my impulse was to tear it up, but I resisted, and instead succumbed to my second desire, which was to write for a while. I'm alone in my attic once more. I've been home for 2 months now, and after a summer spent living with the intense joy of being reunited with my brother, Hans has returned to the factory. Father has aged so, and Gertrude's arthritis causes her terrible pain. The 13th of September. All in all, these last 4 years have been kind to Father and Hans. Their relationship is less tense. They still do not exchange much conversation, but they now have a thing in common. The factory. I'm even beginning to feel a bit jealous. Silly, really. The 17th of September. Hans hasn't changed. To help Gertrude, he has designed a totally automated kitchen, and Gertrude can't stop moaning at the wooden puppets. Oh, how I adore them.